If you are righteous, conscientious, and you strive for the truth of the laws and recommendations of the wellspring of love creation, then fruitfulness is well-being will be opened to you by your firmament consciousness, and your psyche, which will exceed all your wishes. But if you are non-righteous, conscienceless, and you do not strive, then you will persist in the state condition of inner misery and inner hardship, because you understand in yourselves what you acquire through what you do and how you guide your thoughts and feelings. Do right at all times and do not fear the truth, so that you are not inhabitants of your own iniquity and unfairness, and non-righteousness, consciencelessness, so that you do not create punishment in yourselves which comes over you, breaks in the daytime whilst you are awake, or at night when you are sleeping. And do not be inhabitants of your own state condition of evil in yourselves, so that no punishment comes over you, breaks in from out of yourselves, neither in the day nor at night, nor in the early hours of the morning, nor in the early hours of the evening, not in the morning and not in the afternoon, neither when you are working or playing or taking enjoyment. Never be sure in the face of evil and of the deceiving intentions, purposes of the false prophets, because you can never feel secure when confronted by them, since they condemn you to downfall, dissatisfaction, through their lies and false teachings, just like the priests and other servants of gods and servants of tin gods do, in order to enslave you, place you in bondage, and exploit you, so that they can lead a life in craving for admiration, thirst for glory, conceitedness, vanity, and in debauchery. The laws and recommendations of the wellspring of love creation are a leadership guidance for you who, as inhabitants, have earth as an inheritance in your care. Trust, so that you are pleasing, beneficial to earth, and do the best for it, so that you do not defile, curtail it in its appearance, nature, and you maintain all kinds of life forms, so that your world may be a place of joyful living, paradise for you. The true prophets also come to you indeed to show clear signs, evidence that earth is also a life form which requires your protection and your keeping care. Therefore you shall take care for it and shall be favorable to it. If you, however, declare this message of the prophets to be a lie, and you seal close your attitude towards harming, disadvantaging your earth, then it will sicken in its appearance, nature, so that heavy gales and storms and upheavals and convulsions, catastrophes, will come over your world and over you, which you will no longer be able to master. See therefore that you find your way to the truth and follow the teaching of the prophets, so that you hold fast to the bond agreement with the truth of the laws and recommendations of the wellspring of love creation, and you do not find yourselves as malefactors, destroyers of the appearance, nature, and of the earth. And truly, since time immemorial you have condemned the signs, evidence, that the true prophets bring to you, as you are outrageous, dismissive, and destructive against them, because you do not want to know the truth, but want to wallow in your degeneracies of all kinds. But if you do not observe the signs, evidence, and teaching of the prophets and the signs of the time that they reveal to you, then you are fomenting chaos in your world, so it will suffer and be destroyed by this, as you also cause suffering and harm to yourselves, and you ruin your own gains, achievements. Therefore open your ears and your eyes to the signs, evidence, that the true prophets bring to you, so that you may use it for your advantage and may have an existence, life, in pleasure. Truly, it is not seemly for the true prophets to speak other than the truth about the truth. Therefore when they come to you they only bring clear signs, evidence, and speak clear words. Thus allow those who are connected to the truth to go with the prophets, and do not persecute them, because consider that you too at your time will also become knowing, conscious of the truth, and will not want to be persecuted by the unfair ones or irresponsible ones, the ones unknowing of the truth and non-righteous ones, conscienceless ones. And if you belong to the undisguised ones, truthful ones, truth-loving ones, and you are able to interpret and to understand the signs, evidence, of the prophets and of the appearance, nature, of the wellspring of love creation, then teach them to your next ones and to all those people of your kind, fellow human beings, who want to gain knowledge of them and to be connected to the teaching of truth, the teaching of spirit, the teaching of life. And if you are connected to the truth, then let it be in strength and not like a weak stick which breaks when it is bent, and be as watchful as a snake which does not want to be trodden underfoot but which can, however, defend itself if it is attacked. So shall you be in your knowledge and in your steadfastness about the truth, exactly like a strong and unbreachable rod and like a heedful snake, so that you recognize when you are being attacked and you can defend yourselves according to right and the law without having contempt for the laws and recommendations of the wellspring of love creation, so that you do rightfully in all cases. And heed that if you defend yourselves, that your hands are white, not besmirched through acts of gevalt, so that all viewers, observers, of your deeds may see that you are protecting yourselves rightfully and only use means for your defense which only serve in defense, self-defense, but not however for killing, so that you do not make yourselves guilty of manslaughter or the blood guilt murder, and be called to take account responsibility. And heed that you do not deceive or steal from people of your kind, fellow human beings, neither openly publicly, nor in secret, nor with activities of the shadow world, activities of hell, magic, legerdemain tricks, so that you are not accused of committing evil devilish things, or the black arts suggestive trickery. And heed that you do not commit non-right in any way whatsoever, so that you are not driven from your dwelling places and not out of your land. And heed the wise counsel advice. Do right and dream no one. Restrain your non-rightful doings and do not listen to summoners, bailiffs, of the heads, authorities, rulers, mightful ones, and the false prophet, as well as the priests and servants of gods and servants of tin gods of the godlinesses, religions, and sub-godlinesses, sex cults, who take you prisoner in contravention of what is rightful and accuse, denounce you of activities of the shadow world, activities of hell, magic, so that you shall be coerced into becoming unfair ones, irresponsible ones, and non-righteous ones, conscienceless ones, and believers in gods and tin gods. And do not allow yourselves to be ensnared through wealth and possessions which are offered to you as a reward if you give up the truth, because the summoners, bailiffs, of the godlinesses, religions, and sub-godlinesses, sex cults, only want to reward you so that they may prevail over you. They only want you to belong to those who are like them, the same as them, so that they may increase their throng through you and cause all kinds of calamity and be able to commit outrageous crimes, without being brought to account for them. Therefore, do not belong to those who are their own next ones in inequity, unfairness, and unaccountability, consciencelessness, because they only see and love themselves, yet only use ones like them, ones the same as them, for pursuing their shameful criminal ends. Be always watchful so that you may first cast far from you whatever is evil and unfair, irresponsible, before the unfair ones, irresponsible ones, and non-righteous ones, conscienceless ones, can lull you into evil and unfairness, irresponsibility. Cast far away from you all evil and unfairness, irresponsibility, so that you will not be spellbound, and so you are righteous, conscientious, in the eyes of people of your kind, fellow human beings, so that you do not have to go in fear of them and do not have to bring forth lies and enormous hallucinations, magic, and in order to be recognized by them as fair ones, responsible ones. Be at all times as strong as an unbreachable rod, so that you do not consume evil and unfairness, irresponsibility, and do not make these things to your food, but regard evil and unfairness, irresponsibility, as delusiveness which brings about all terrible things. Be fair and connected to the real truth, so that you recognize that all non-rightful deeds are insidiousness and malice, contemptibility, against the laws and recommendations of the wellspring of love creation. Therefore be ashamed and turn away from evil and unfairness, irresponsibility, from the non-righteous, conscienceless, and from virtuousness, so that you are no longer overcome by non-right,